Hi, my name is Sarah Kepros, and I'm a reading specialist here at Kirkwood. You know, being a college student, that you are asked to read a lot of textbooks, and textbook reading can be really dense and difficult and, quite frankly, not really entertaining. So I just want to give you some habits and some tips today to help you be more successful as you read your textbooks, and so that your comprehension levels will go up and then you will do better in the classes that you're taking. So I have 4 habits that I like to talk about when I talk to my students about reading textbooks. And the first is to preview the chapter before you read it. And that would include looking over the headings, reading the captions under the pictures and the margins. If there's words that are highlighted in the margins, just reviewing those vocabulary words. Any graphs or charts or anything, look over those so that you're really familiar with the concepts that you're going to be reading about in that chapter. And then when you go to read it, you're already going to be aware of some of those concepts and it won't all be brand new to you. I have here a chapter from a psychology textbook called Nature, Nurture, and Human Diversity. And just to give you an idea of what I would do if I was previewing this chapter, is I would read the title and then I would go through this page and look at each heading. Behavior genetics, predicting individual differences. And I would just take a quick second to ask myself, okay, what am I going to be learning about in that section? Genetics, things in my genes that are passed down from my family, and how those can kind of predict or tell us about the differences in human beings. The next heading is a different color. Genes are codes for life. So that's probably the section that's really going to get into talking about the genes and how each of those genes tells us who we are, what we look like, how we behave. Over on the side, as I'm predicting, we have a picture here with a caption about the nurture of nature. And we can read that caption and look at that. And then we have a few vocabulary words. And even at the bottom, we have a little comic strip. Thanks for almost everything, Dad, which can give us a little bit of information about what this is about in a different light than just the words do. If we continue on to the next page, we can see we have a figure at the top of page 68 that talks about the genes, their location and composition. And so we get a little bit of information about cells and chromosomes and how the genes are all put together in our body. So we've just activated our background knowledge about a chapter. Now, sometimes you're going to have a situation where even looking through the chapter, you realize, I don't really know a lot about that information. I don't have any background knowledge. So come back next time for some tips on how to expand your background knowledge if that's the case.